Hello and welcome to GBR. We're today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GTTCC Season 20. This is the guys from the Elite Division, Round 6, Race 1. As you can see, we are at Lago Maggiore, or Laggy Maggie for short. And it's a bit overcast at the moment, but there is no rain expected for this race. And after 15 minutes of qualifying, Phil put it on pole in the Lamborghini. A little special request was for Key Loop. Have a look into them, helping with the automotive industry. If you're interested, have a little Google. It's pretty easy to find. He's racing for Team Golf and Cancer Research. In second place is JRC in the GT by Citroën, racing for Monster We Are Driven. In third place we have Bazza, also in a GT by Citroën, racing for Team Sparkle and Sparko. In fourth place we have Raffo, racing in the GT by Citroën for Golf and Cancer Research. In fifth place we have Midnight in the Sylvia, racing for Team SADS and Texaco. In sixth place we have Brucey, changed his car to run the Genesis G70. Nice little livery marked on that one, nice and quick there, Bruce. Also racing for Sparkle and Sparko. In seventh place we have Muffin Man, racing in the GT by Citroën for RSPCA, and I don't think you've put it on here yet, have you? Can't see the other. It's for the charity. Charity, the sponsor for your team. In eighth place we have Infinity James in the Honda NSX, racing for who are we racing for in this one? We Are Driven. I think We Are Driven is Monster as well. Can't see no Monster on that one. In ninth place we have Judge in the Renault, and he is racing for Help for Heroes and LG. And in 10th place we have Golden Brownie in the Porsche, racing for prostate cancer and Pepsi. So that is your drivers for this race. So I'll go to the front and we shall get these guys underway for half an hour of Laggy Maggie. And away we go. Oh, look like Rafa there got a jump start, so he's been held up off the line. It looks like we're going to be going 3 wide into turn 1 between Bazza, Phil and JRC, but Bazza seems to just back out a little bit there. Phil's been able to hold on to first place. I'll run through, see if it seems like everyone's got through cleanly. Midnight there getting a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 2, but Phil's been able to hold on to that first place ahead of JRC and Bazza, but they're all going 2 wide into turn 4 onto this little backstretch. Was Golden Brownie going slowly. Muffin Man there. There's an incident between Golden Brownie and Muffin Man. Oh, a slight little tap there on the rear end has just sent Muffin Man spinning around at the beginning of the race. So Muffin Man down to 10th place now, but he'll probably get in front of Golden Brownie when he gets going. So into the right hander up the hill. Phil getting it a little bit tail happy and keeps it ahead of JRC as they come into the S's for the first time. So at the moment. Judge has done an incredible start, getting up to 4th place. He started in 9th, so he's up 5 places already is Judge, so great start there for him. Midnight there in 5th place. These 5 have just broken away a little bit from Brucey and James in 6th and 7th, going side by side as they come into Banky Boy for the first time. And James just gets ahead of Brucey as they get out of there. Obviously tyres are a thing on this race, but they're 3 wide up ahead between Judge, Bazza and Midnight. But Judge has got up to 3rd place now, so an incredible start to the race for Judge so far. I would not have put, if I'd have put my bets down, I would not have said Judge would have been 3rd at the end of lap 1, not in a million years. But he's done it, and he's been able to just put away a little bit there from Bazza, with Bazza having a mirror full of Sylvia. But as they come to finish that one, Phil and JRC nose to tail, 1st and 2nd, Judge in 3rd, Bazza 4th, Midnight in 5th, James and Brucey going side by side across the line, 6th and 7th, Muffin Man in 8th place, Golden Brownie in 9th, after you have to wait in after contact with Muffin Man, and Raffo must have had an issue as well on the first lap in 10th place now. So as they come on to this little back stretch now, Phil just trying to defend against JRC as they come into this long right hander. It tightens up and then it opens back up again. Getting it sideways again is Phil coming in there. That's going to be putting extra wear on his tyres. That around this track you kind of want your tyres because it is quite hard hitting, that is for sure. But JRC is just going to sit behind, and looks like he's not going to pressure Phil at the moment. But if Phil makes a few more mistakes, then he may end up trying to go for that lead. And JRC Judge there in 3rd place, so he must have had a terrible qualifying to finish in 9th, but race pace is clearly there. But Midnight and Bazza going side by side as they come down towards Banky Boy. Midnight just gets it ahead of Bazza, and now you've got the drag up the hill, and Bazza looks like he's got a better drive coming out of there, and it's pulled alongside Midnight as they go through the long chicane. Is Bazza going to be able to make this move stick around the outside? Yes, he is. He's pulled ahead of Midnight in towards the double right hander at the end of the lap. So these two fighting hard and losing a little bit of time to Judge, so Judge will be quite pleased about that. James there, he's just bringing Brucey along with him, it looks like, to the back of Midnight and Brucey. Muffin Man 8th, Golden 9th, and Ruffo in 10th place. So the back 3 haven't changed any places. Not many places have been changed, but I think the battle is going to be between Judge, Bazza and Midnight. At the moment they're the 3 closest on track, the same as James and Brucey. See how Brucey goes in the Genesis for the last couple of races that he uses it for in this season. James here just keeping ahead of Brucey there. Muffin Man going a little bit deep. Both Golden Runny and Muffin Man going really wide through that right hander onto the little back straight here. Marco just keeping it just outside the track limits, but you don't get a penalty for running out wide, so take it as much of the advantage as you can do. But Phil and JRC still at the front, so it looks like JRC is just sitting there behind Phil, maybe waiting for later on in the race if Phil's tyres start to wear off with his sliding that he is doing on track. They're both about the same at the moment, but we are only on lap 3. It's corners like this one, the big Banky Boy, that will wear your tyres out. Judge there keeping it still ahead of Bazza. Midnight's just dropped off the back a little bit from Bazza at the moment, so it's let Bazza catch up to the rear end of Judge now and see if he can make a move up to 3rd place for Bazza. Brucey's got ahead of James, but James got half second penalty, so James probably went a little bit wide, got dirt on his tyres, and just let Brucey get past to save any time loss to the guys in front of him. But it looks like Muffin Man is catching up to the rear end of James, and obviously when James serves at half second, he will go into the clutches of the Muffin Man. And then there'll be a fight then for 7th place. Golden Brownie still in 9th with Raffo in 10th still. Back to the front we go. Phil looks like he's just trying to open up. What was that lap times? The 10th between the two of them. The last lap round, so nothing really between the two. So is Phil now going to put the hammer down and try and break that toe that he is given to JRC? I think JRC's just trying to hang on to it at the moment. He's not close enough to make a move for first place, but anything can happen, especially in these little half-an-hour sprint races. One little mistake and it's quite hard to try and get yourself back up the field. Midnight's got a half-second penalty behind there, so he's going to drop off the back of these two. So it's going to be a two-way fight for 3rd place. Judge just trying to break a little bit of the slip there onto the back straight. We go up towards Banky Boy, but Bazza's not been able to use the speed of the GT Citroen to get past Judge. But now we're going up the hill. Bazza's nice and close behind at the moment. He goes to the inside of Judge. Is he going to do the same again as they come through the long chicane up towards the double right hander? Bazza's still on the outside, hasn't been able to make the move past Judge. Bazza's going to have to go a long way round now, and Midnight's been able to close the gap to the back of these two. After 7.5 seconds, there is Midnight right behind now, but nose to tail these three. Nothing to split between them as they come down the start-finish straight to start lap 4. They're going to go 3 wide. No, Midnight doesn't know which way to go, looking left and right, and just tucks in behind Bazza. Bazza gets up into 3rd place now, and Midnight's going to go around the outside of Judge and keep it there for this little left-hand kink. No, Midnight tucks in behind Judge as they come round turn 3 and 4. Midnight might try and get a good drive out of here in towards the long right-hander. Literally, Midnight is sniffing what Judge ate for breakfast. He's that close coming out of that corner, and he's still that close going into the next one as well. But all this fighting is allowing Brucey to close that gap to the back of these guys. So probably a lap or so's time, Brucey will be making this a 4-way fight for 3rd place. James there in 7th after 7.5 second penalty. He hasn't been caught by Muffin Man for them to be fighting as of yet. Golden Brownie there just hanging on to the coattails of Muffin Man after that little lap 1 instant. Raffo there in 10th place. Clearly hasn't got the right setup for the race. He had the right setup for qualifying. He qualified 4th, but the setup for the race just clearly not there. So as we go back to the front now, Phil in 1st place. He looks like he was 2nd on the last lap round, but it looks like he has opened up a bit gap to JRC on the 5th lap. We'll see what the lap times are for these two guys. 2:04.7 and 2:05.3, yes, to 6/10 that lap time round. Phil took out of JRC. Midnight is up to 3rd place now. Not sure how he's done that. Oh, didn't want to go a lap back. Let me just jump forward to here. So Midnight got past Judge down the back straight, now into Banky Boy. And now they come up the hill. And Bazza has the drive, it seems, up this hill to keep Midnight just behind him. But is Midnight now going to try and do the inside for the double right hander? It looks like he is. A little bit of a love tap between the two of them. But Bazza has to just slip in behind Midnight, so Midnight's made two spaces in half a lap. Now he's at the front of this little freeway battle, and see how far Brucey is. Brucey is not far behind at all. I did say it'll only be a lap or so before he catches up to the back of them. And yeah, he can just about see Judge in the screen there ahead of him. So yeah, only about a second behind now. He will be in Judge's slipstream as of this lap. So as I say, Midnight in third, Bazza fourth, Judge in fifth, as we currently see it. But as you can see up front, Phil's definitely just trying to break that toe to JRC. I think he has done it. Looks like he is over a second ahead of JRC. What's the lap counter saying? Yeah, about a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds. So it is just on the edges, JRC, of that slip. But is it now going to be dropping back from Phil? No, he hasn't got any slipstream. But these two have pulled a massive gap over third place of about 8 or 9 seconds, going by the lap counter. So that's pretty impressive. With only 5.5 laps done, they pulled out nearly second half, 2 seconds a lap. But obviously these three have all been fighting pretty much from the start of the race, or at least at the end of lap 1. But Midnight, Bazza, Judge, and now Brucey is definitely on to the back of these guys. He'll be getting in on the mix. James there just ahead of Muffin Man for 7th and 8th. Golden Brownie there just sort of off the back of Muffin Man. Raffo there in 10th place. So jump back up to where the action all is on track at the moment, between Midnight, Bazza, Judge, and a fast approaching Brucey. So obviously the genesis for Brucey is definitely working out for him. Obviously didn't have a very good start, but the car is now coming into its own, and the race pace is definitely there for him to close this gap up. Probably a good 2 seconds or so in about 3 or 4 laps. So really impressive stuff there from Brucey to catch up to these guys. They are just all nice little distance between them at the moment, so I don't think there's going to be any moves on this lap as of yet. But one little mistake between these guys, and could go Midnight could go from 3rd down to 6th place, sorry, in a blink of an eye, just by running out wide or getting a half-second penalty. It really will cost you quite a few places with these guys being so close. And we're nearly halfway through the race as well, so I think where's the tyre wear at the moment? Midnight's pretty good, Bazza's pretty good. Judge, his tyres are starting to wear quite a bit now. He's got Brucey looking this way and that way as they come down the back straight towards Banky Boy. Brucey has got ahead of Judge as they come through Banky Boy. Yeah, Brucey's tyre wear, so the medium's really holding on well here, but the softs of Judge's car starting to now drop off. So will he be able to keep with these guys, or is the tyre wear just going to be too much to stick with them? He's got a bit of a gap now to James behind, so shouldn't be too worried at the moment. But we'll see come through the end of the race. James is in the same boat as well, same as Muffin Man, same as Golden Brownie and Raffo. So all the guys at the back on softs, obviously Phil is, and JRC. So it's only Midnight, Bazza and Brucey on the mediums. but it seems to be working well for them at the moment. But yeah, JRC's definitely dropped off the back of Phil now. Phil just dipped into the 205s at that round. And JRC's in the 206s as well, so yeah, it's losing a second a lap now is JRC. So hopefully, Bazza's got up to third place now, ahead of Midnight. So looks like Midnight is in a Team Sparkle sandwich. As we come down to the long right hander, is Brucey having a look up the inside. He's making Midnight go the long way round. Midnight's using all the curb he can as they come out of there up towards the S's. Midnight's just been able to keep ahead of that Genesis in towards the S as they go, but this little bit of fighting is going to allow Buzzer to just pull away onto the back straight. And yeah, I think Judge is now starting to struggle with them tyres. Just over halfway into this race, but Brucey still looking at the inside of Midnight. Nothing he can do as they come into Big Banky Boy and up the hill towards the long chicane. And in the background there you got James and Muffin Man now fighting for 7th place. So Muffin Man's caught up to the back end of James. What's the tyre wear like? There's not much between the tyre wear of these two. But Muffin Man's used more fuel, so he will be a little bit lighter, so he may be able to try and push on a bit more. Golden Brownies there just dropped off the back of these two now, and Raffo there still going around in 10th place. His tyres are all about halfway worn, same as Golden Brownie, so yeah, these guys are really struggling. Bazza in 3rd place now, still ahead of Midnight. Brucey's not been able to get past Midnight, but Midnight's putting the pressure on Bazza as they come round turn 3 and into 4 and onto this little straight. Brucey goes out a little bit wide there. It is quicker, but it's more risky because obviously it's quite bumpy, going all over the curb, and the grass does close in quite fast when you're getting the power down to go down that little straight. Unless you get a perfect line, then you don't have to go off track at all. But Basil there still defending off Midnight for this 3rd spot, and obviously the last spot on the podium. So what are these guys' lap times? 2:05.6 and a 2:05.8. JRC's doing 2:06 and 2:07s. So JRC is dropping into the clutches of the guys behind. There is about, what is there, 8 seconds between them at the moment, and just over halfway, so I would say we're looking at about 15-16 laps, so it could be close for JRC to be caught by these guys. So maybe going too hard for JRC at the beginning might cost him at the end. We will see in just under 12 minutes time when the checkered flag goes out. But as we come up through the S's in towards the double right, Midnight is going side by side with Bazza once again. A slight little tap again, but Midnight pulls out and just sticks behind as they come down this little left-hander towards the final corner. So this is where the all reaction is on track. Everyone else seems to be spread out. So we have got James and Muffin Man as well fighting for 7th place. Muffin Man's got a little bit of twitchiness on the car going around corners, which obviously is a bit unsettling to some drivers. I don't like it too much, but not much we can do with the GT servers. And Muffin Man just sticking behind James at the moment. But back up front, Phil just setting constant 2:05s and pulling away from JRC. He's about 7 seconds behind now. Here's JRC, what was that lap? A 2:06.4. Bazza done 2:06.3, so he only caught a tenth that lap round, so not the progress they need to catch up to the back end of JRC, but with the racing mediums, looks like they've hardly done the 20 minutes at all compared to JRC's tyres. They're over halfway red at the moment, so will they last another 10 minutes? We shall see. Back to the battle for third. Midnight's going up the inside of Bazza into the big banky boy for the 10th time of asking. Midnight's got it done, but will Bazza use the drive of that Citroen towards the S's? Yes, he will. That drive from that Citroen is ridiculous compared to the Silvia, but it is making for some great racing between these two. Bazza has been able to technically retain that third place, even though he went down to fourth into the big banky boy. He's got back past and defends once again. And Brucey there is just watching behind, just saving his tyres, looking after him, waiting for a slight little mistake from any of the two guys in front, but Bazza's having to defend now as they come across the line up towards turn one. Bazza's going to be on the inside, so if Midnight can keep it round the outside, he's gone very deep. Has Midnight is on the inside for turn two. It's going to make Bazza go out wide. Brucey's there on the inside, they're 3 wide as they come into turn three. Bazza should be able to keep ahead at the moment, and into this little right hander of turn four. Brucey's trying for the old switcheroo, gets on the curb, and we'll just slow him down a little bit onto this little back straight towards turn 5. The long right hander, so exciting first couple of corners of this lap, but they all still are the same as they cross the line, with Bazza third, Midnight fourth and Brucey fifth. We'll just go back down. Judge there in 6th place. Muffin Man has got ahead of James. James has picked up another half-second penalty, so then tyres really seems to be dying for James at the moment. Muffin Man's been able to look after him better. Golden Brownie's exactly the same tyre wear as James as well. And Ruffo there in 10th, he's got a half-second penalty as well. So will James drop to Golden Brownie? No, he won't. There's too much of a gap between them. Phil there well out in the lead now. He's probably got about 10 seconds. About 8 seconds between the two of them. The JRC sitting at mid 206s at the moment. And obviously, and these guys fighting are technically going quicker. So if these guys weren't fighting, they would be able to catch up to JRC a lot quicker before the end of the race. But Midnight has got up to 3rd place now, dropping Bazza down to 4th. So 2 teammates now as they come down towards the last corner. Brucey looking very menacing there in 5th place, trying to think if he can get past Bazza and take the fight to Midnight. And we'll see which of the 2 Sparkle guys. It looks like Bazza's going to keep ahead of Brucey there for the moment as they come through turn 2 and now turn 3. The little bit of fighting has allowed Midnight just to pull away from these guys. Just keep saying, obviously this is the closest action on track at the moment. Those 2 quite close. Where are they? James has dropped down to Golden Brownie, so there is now a fight for 8th place at the back of the field. So I'll keep an eye on that for the time being. We'll jump up to battle for the last spot on the podium between Midnight, Bazza and Brucey. Judge has just dropped off. I do believe that it will be just tyre wear for Judge because he had a good race pace at the beginning. I'm amazed Midnight didn't get a penalty there for cutting that left hand corner. It was very tight. He must have been a couple of pixels away from not getting one, but Brucey's going for the move. It looks like up the inside of Bazza in towards Big Banky Boy. Brucey cuts so much of the curb but can't carry the speed with the sausages on the inside. Does slow you down a little bit. as you come through, but Bazza had a good drive coming out there. Is really close up to the back end of Midnight ahead of him. Hasn't been able to get the move into the double right-hander at the top of the hill, so they will just sit behind. Brucey is still looking right under that wing of that Citroen. Does Brucey go for a move? No, he's going to think about it. Oh, Baz has got a little bit sideways as they come through the last corner, so Brucey's been able to pull alongside Baz as they come across the line. So two teammates. Last thing you want to do is take each other out. Oh, there's a slight little tap there, but Brucey's just got past Bazza. So Brucey now going to hunt down that Sylvia in front of him and see if he can get that third spot on the podium. But Bazza looks like there's nothing different really about his tyres, but this might have just gone out wide and just got dirt on him. Just like Bazza's just going to struggle there for a couple of corners to keep up with Brucey. That Golden Brownie has got ahead of James now for 8th place. See if James has got a fight back to Golden Brownie. Raffo's come into the pit for a fresh set of softs in. He's got half a tank of fuel, so he's going to try and push for that fastest lap for the remainder of the race, which is what, 3.5 minutes to go, so probably about 2 laps I would say within a 2-minute lap. But Phil, a pretty dominant race so far. He's had the pole, he's got the fastest lap at the moment, and it looks like he's going to keep it on. If he keeps it on the black stuff, he will have the win, averaging a 2:05 pretty much every lap. Does dip into the 2:04 on the last lap, lap 11 as well. So pretty good race there for Phil. JRC there, his tyres are screaming at him. Oh, he's just picked up a half-second penalty. He's about 6 seconds ahead, I would say, of Midnight with 2 laps to go. So they've got to do a lot of chasing to catch up. But now they've stopped fighting, it looks like Midnight's been able to just put a little bit of a gap over Brucey this time around. Oh, Bazza's in the wall. What's happened with Bazza? Did he just get the power on too early as they come through the last corner? It looks like he did, and just ran it round onto the grass, had a little jump and a hop and into barrier. So that's going to drop Bazza. Is it going to drop him behind Judge? Because he's got front end damage as well. So here comes Judge as they come down the start finish site. Muffin Man has been able to close it in to the back of Judge, but Bazza looks like he's got up and going again, but he's going to have dirty tyres. He's going to still have engine damage, front end damage. Is he going to be able to keep it ahead of Judge for the last 2 laps of this race? Muffin Man's lap times 2:06s, Judge's 2:07s and 2:08s, so Judge has got to be careful of Muffin Man behind as well now, not to drop down to 7th place. Golden Brownie there, Ian H. Still got James just behind him at the moment. And Raffo there, he will be starting his first flying lap. He will get one chance at it. But will Phil get onto the next lap? I think he will. I think everyone will, apart from Raffo. Midnight in 3rd spot. He's pulled out a bit of a gap now over Brucey. What was the last lap time? It was 2 tenths, but yeah, definitely opened up a bit more this time round. Well, it looks a bit Bazza there. Now he's got up and going again. He's going to keep that gap to Judge just probably out of the slipstream range. And the same again for Muffin Man, probably just out of Judge's slipstream as they come up the hill through the long chicane. James A's got back ahead of Golden Brownies. Let's have a look. See, he just got the power down the back straight up towards Big Banky Boy. And Golden Brownie looks like he's going to try and go around the outside, but it's just too long to go around there, so James has moved back up to 8th place now. These two tyres absolutely butchered. They've probably only got about another 2 laps left in them before they are near enough on a knife edge, but these two still going hammer and tong even for 8th place. So it shows you that it's not all as gone when you're battling for 8th. You will still fight, but Phil now on the final lap. JRC has really been caught up. What was that, 2:07.9 and a 2:05 dead, so nearly 3 seconds that lap. Midnight caught up to the rear end of JRC, so JRC really struggling now this second half of the race on them tyres. Will he be able to hold on to second come the end of this lap? We will find out. Midnight there in third, Brucey in fourth. Bazza, he's been able to pull away a bit from Judge now. I think that is just the tyre wear really kicking in. Finman in seventh, Golden Brownie back ahead of James, but Raffo will come across to finish in 10th place, or 2 tenths off the fastest lap. So good effort there for Raffo to try and get that fastest lap. But I think there's not many more battles on track. I'm just going to keep my eye on the mini map whilst Phil comes around the last sector at Lago Maggiore for the clean sweep of all the points for race 1. So great effort there for Phil. It looks like JRC is just going to be able to hold off Midnight for that second space, but around the last corner goes Phil for the race win, fastest lap and the pole. Great race there for Phil. JRC now coming down towards the last corner. He has been caught, I think, one more lap, and Midnight might have been challenging for that second spot on the podium, but JRC has been able to hold it off as he comes across the line to finish in second place. Midnight will finish in third. Brucey happy with the 4th spot there in the Genesis. Bazza unlucky on lap 13, but will come finish in 5th place. Judge just keeps ahead of Muffin Man for 6th. Muffin Man finishes in 7th place. Golden Brownie coming around the last corner. His tyre is absolutely screaming at him. He'll finish in 8th place, and James just kicks up a bit of dirt on the last corner to finish in 9th. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, maybe consider subscribing. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.